no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay. Hey, look, why? Cause we gon' make them pay.
What's going down, gamblers around the world? And yeah, I'm messing up. I'm fucking up already. Hey man, we appreciate everybody tuning in. I am the coach. This is Marley Bet. So we getting ready to talk about some of these. We got some tournament plays going on right now. Oh, let me take that out.
I think I gotta stop smoking.
We do got tournament play going on right now for everybody, man, and I'm kind of on a time limit right now. So, Marley, how you feeling, man? The man, the myth, the legend himself.
Good. I'm good. Tournament time around the corner. I didn't have a great day yesterday, but I've been having a good week. So,
good. So you feeling good? You feeling all right?
Feeling all right.
You feeling good? All right, man. Well, how let's see. I don't know if we updated how we did yesterday, but I know my oh, shit. I know my lock of the day hit. One of them. Oh, did I have one or two? What was my other one? Middle Tennessee State.
Yeah.
So I went 1-1 yesterday on my locks, and we really got ambushed yesterday because the best player did not even show up to play, man. But other than that, how you feeling today?
A lot of, I feel good. It's a lot of games, teams. A lot of people probably ain't gonna recognize for the most part, unless they watch.
Let's jump right into it, man. With our first game, and we talking about Oakland taking on Wright State. This Oakland sitting at 20-11 on the year, 14-15 against the spread. While Wright State Raiders are 18-13 on the year, 12-18 against the spread. This line opened up in favor of Oakland -2.5, and now that line sits flipped to -4. The total opened up at 148. Right now, that line's at 144.5. Injury reports, there aren't any injury reports reported for either team. Last time we seen Oakland play, they beat IUPUI 70-58. And the last time we see Wright State, they beat Robert Morris 71-61. So get to some quick actual factuals. Oakland, there are 2-11 against the spread in the last 13 games, but 13-7 straight up in the last 20 games. 1-10 against the spread in the last 11 games against Wright State. 1-10 straight up in the last 11 games against Wright State as well. 0-6 against the spread on the last 6 games on the road. Wright State's actual factuals: 2-4 against the spread in the last 6 games. The overs hit 4 in the last 5. They are 14-6 straight up in the last 20 games. 5-1 straight up in the last 6 games at the crib, but this is a neutral site game. 5-0 against the spread in the last 5 games when playing at the crib against Oakland, but neutral site again. And the overs hit 4 out of the last 5 whenever they're playing against a Horizon Conference opponent. So, with that being said, Oakland versus Wright State. Marley, do you have a play for this one?
Yeah, I do. Actually, I have Oakland with the points plus the 4. I do think, however, Wright State probably wins this game, but I do think it'll be close enough. 4 points, I think we covered. This team played about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Wright State actually won by 4 points. But Wright State didn't particularly, in my opinion, end this season too well. They won 3 out of their last 5 games. Some of those have been questionable in competition, like losing to Detroit, losing to Northern Kentucky. They beat YSU, Youngstown State, but that was toward the end, and something's going on with Youngstown State. They kind of just slide. So then the Robert Morris win, I don't really give a lot of credit to. Then you got Oakland, and like I said, Oakland's a pretty tough team. I'm trying to think of his first name. Jamal Cain, excuse me. Jamal Cain, he's a walking double-double, 20 points, 10 rebounds, senior, for 6'7". So I'm gonna take my chances with Oakland here. I really like. I kind of kept an eye on Oakland throughout the season. I made some money on them early. I've actually made money on both these teams, but Oakland plus the 4 is gonna be my play here. I'm actually already on that. What's going down, James? That boy said, "Damn, Middle Tennessee."
Man, We got ambushed. We got injured. So you going with Oakland +4?
Yeah, I'm on Oakland plus the 4 here.
All right. So Marty likes Oakland +4, as well as Lil James. I am going to pass on this game. But we do appreciate everybody tuning in. I am the coach. This is Marley Bets. We are Brothas N Bets. Let's get to our next game. We're talking about Robert Morris Cardinals, 8-23 on the year, 14-17 against the spread. While the Cleveland State Vikings are 19-9 on the year, 12-14 against the spread. Line opened up in favor of, excuse me, Robert Morris -12, and then it flipped. That can't be right. Then it flipped to
Yeah, that's definitely not right.
Cleveland State -12. Yeah, I mean that's what it's saying. The opening lines was. The total opened up at 147. Right now that line's at 142.5. There are no injury reports right now. Robert Morrison last game they won 77-73 against Youngstown State, and Cleveland's last game they lost 57-65 against Oakland. Actual factuals for Robert Morris: they are 1-4 straight up in the last 5 games, 1-6 straight up in the last 7 games against Cleveland State, 6-1 against spread when playing on the road, 1-4 straight up in the last 5 games when playing against Cleveland State on the road, 2-6 straight up in the last 8 games. Actual factors for Cleveland State: their overs hit 8 out of the last 10. They are 13-6 straight up in the last 19 games, 14-2 straight up in the last 16 games, 4-1 straight up in the last 5 games against Robert Morris at the crib, but it's a neutral site. And the overs hit 8 out of the last 10 games of playing against a Horizon Conference opponent. So Robert Morris, right? Cleveland State, Marley, what's your play?
I like Cleveland State on the first half. I do believe they covered this. Excuse me. I do believe they covered this game. Robert Morris is just not one of the better teams of the Horizon League. I kind of fuck with the Horizon League, kind of fuck with Cleveland State, Wright State, Oakland, Detroit Mercy, Purdue FW. We're going to talk about them later. So I kind of been keeping up with this conference throughout the season. Cleveland State is one of the better teams in the conference. They kind of go back and forth, the top 3 or 4 teams, but Cleveland State is in that mix. If you watch the show, I probably didn't have them on the show like 4 or 5 times. For the most part, they've come through for us. I'm going to continue to ride this first half wave with these boys. They hold teams to under 70 points a game at 69, scoring 75, 6-point differential, whereas Robert Morris is the complete opposite, only scoring 69 while giving up 74.4 points a game. And Demoy Hodge, he's the leading scorer for Cleveland State, 15.4 points a game. We got to rock with him guard. My bad, phone distracted me. So I like Cleveland State. You probably catch it at like 7 right now. I actually think they covered the 12, honestly, too.
So I'm thinking it might be hold on one second. It might be 6.5. But even if it's at the 7, you like it with the 7?
Yeah. No, if it's 7, just put me on a full game -12. If it's 6.5, I want the first half.
All right. You heard Marley Bets. I am going to pass on this game. Oh man, but he likes the Cleveland State. 6.5, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in. I am the coach. This is Marley Bets, and I feel like I'm leaving off a game. Nope, that's just yeah. Where's that line at? You didn't you do Purdue? You wanted to mess with it? I don't see the lines anymore.
Oh, is that what you just deleted?
No, I deleted the other one. Did I delete it?
Yeah, because Cleveland State, Robert Morris still up there. It's cool. I mean, just to throw it out there, Purdue FW -6.5. I already took the first half, and I took the full game. I can't remember if I took the full game or not. I think I want both sides of that. Think about both sides of that coin. I know you don't have to play all that game. That's what I'm saying.
So what's your official play for that one?
First
Well,
half,
can you do me a favor? Can you read that information?
the actual factual and whatnot.
Can you do the actual factions? I'm trying to do two things at once, my man. Two things at once. Choose payment.
Yeah. Let me find that. All right. UIC, University of Illinois Chicago, taking on the road to take on PFW, Purdue FW. I don't know what the FW stand for, honestly. But the line opened up at PFW minus 6.5. The total is at 147. Let's look at the injury report real quick. UIC, no reported injuries. Same for PFW. Couple actual factuals. UIC totals gone over in 4 of their last 5 games. They're 5-1 straight up in their last 6 games, but 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games against PFW. 1-4 straight up in their last 5 games against PFW, and 4-1 straight up in their last 5 games this season. 5-1 straight up in their last 6 games this season against an opponent from the Horizon Conference, and they're 9-2 ATS in their last 11 games played in the month of March. Total has gone over in 10 of their last 11 road games. This is a neutral site game. PFW, Purdue FW, they're 6-0 ATS in their last 6 games. 9-0 straight up in their last 9 games. 8-0 straight up in their last 8 home games. 5-0 ATS in their last 5 games this season. 6-0 ATS in their last 6 games against an opponent in the Horizon Conference, but 2-7 straight up in their last 9 games played in the month of March. So you got UIC, the Flames, they're on a 4-game win streak, and Purdue FW is on a 5-game win streak. I already took, I like the Mastodons, Purdue FW minus 6.5. I took them first half money line. Show purposes, we're gonna rock with the first half money line. That's my official play. But those are my plays on this game.
So what's your official play? I'm sorry, man.
First half money line.
So Marley likes the first half money line for this game. All right.
Marley and money line pick today. Yeah, man, it's one of them days.
Yeah, man. I don't have a pick for this play, so we are gonna keep this moving and jump right into. We're going back to the West Coast for this one. We're talking about Oregon taking on Washington.
Oh, man, I took Cleveland State minus 6.5 and Oakland plus 4. I think that was the first money line pick I gave
Today.
Yeah.
So you like Oakland plus 4 and the money line?
No, I was going over my picks because James was like money, Marley and money line today. I'm saying I only gave one money line pick today. Yeah, Oakland plus 4 was my first play. Cleveland State minus 6.5. It's my second play. Anyway, let's keep it going. Are you still?
All right. So let's jump right in. Pac-12 action. We talking about Oregon Ducks 18-11 on the year, 11-18 against the spread, going against the Washington Huskies, who are 14-14 on the year, 15-13 against the spread. This line opened up at minus 3.5 in favor of the Ducks. Right now, that line's at 5. So the money's coming in on them. The line opened up at 145.5, and that line has since stayed. But there are some 144.5 out there as well. Injury reports, there aren't any injury reports for Oregon, but D. Davis, the guard, he left last game due to an injury, so he is questionable tonight for Washington. The last time we seen Oregon, they lost 70-69 against USC on their home court, and the last time we seen Washington, they lost 66-77 against UCLA, a game where they were down by, I believe, 1 point at halftime. To get to these actual factuals, Oregon 2-6 against the spread in the last 8 games, 12-5 straight up in the last 17 games, 7-3 against the spread in the last 10 games against Washington, but 6-0 straight up in the last 6 games against Washington. 2-4 straight up in the last 6 games this season. 5-0 straight up in the last 5 games when playing on the road against Washington, but that don't count because this is going to – oh, well, yeah, that does count. I'm thinking it's a tournament play. And they overtip 10 out of the last 11 games whenever the Ducks are on the road. Washington, actual factuals, they are 12-6 against the spread in the last 18 games. The overs hit 9 out of the last 10. They are 1-5 straight up in the last 6 games. The unders also hit 10 out of the last 12 against Oregon. The overs also hit 5 out of the last 5 games at home. They are 0-5 straight up in the last 5 games we're playing at the crib against Oregon, but 1-5 straight up in the last 6 games against a Pac-12 conference opponent. So Oregon taking on Washington. Marley, do you have a play for this one?
Nah, man, I ain't fucking with that Pac-12.
He ain't fucking with the Pac. So
Fade Oregon State is about all the Pac-12 information I got.
I'm on Oregon minus the 5 here. I like the. I just watched the team. They're just not a very good ball club. They do show up against some of the better teams, but Oregon's just a way better team. So I'm riding with Oregon minus the 5 for this game as an official play. So hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in. I am the coach. This is Marley Bets. We are Brothas N Bets. And let's get to last game. But I am going to throw out there a lock play as well. But for the last game, well, first of all, you got a play in this one or no?
Yeah, I actually.
All right. So Fresno State Bulldogs taking on the San Diego State Aztecs. The Bulldogs are 18-10 on the year, 15-11-1 against the spread, while the Aztecs are 19-7 on the year, 15-11 against the spread. This line opened up in favor of 7.5 in favor of the Aztecs. And right now that line is still the same. There are some 8.5s out there as well. The totals open up at 111.5. Right now that line's at 116.5. Injury reports right now, Baker Jr. is out indefinitely for Fresno State, and Dinwiddie Jr., he is questionable for today's game. Last time we seen Fresno State, they won 71-68 against New Mexico, and last time we seen San Diego State, they won 73-66 on the road against Wyoming. Get to these actual factuals. Fresno State's 1-5 against spread in the last 6 games. The others hit 7 out of the last 8. They are 2-4 straight up last 6 games, 1-4 against spread in the last 5 games against San Diego State, 0-5 straight up in the last 5 games when playing against San Diego State, and 5-0 against the spread in the last 5 games, though, when they're playing on the road against San Diego State. Actual factors for San Diego State, they are 5-0 against the spread in the last 5 games. The overs hit 5 out of the last 7. They are 7-1 straight up in the last 8 games. The unders also hit 4 out of the last 5 against Fresno State, 6-0 straight up in the last 6 games at the home. Crib, they are 0-5 against the spread in the last 5 games, as I said before, against Fresno State at the crib. 7-1 straight up in the last 8 games against a Mountain West Conference opponent, and 5-1 against the spread in the last 6 games this season. So Fresno State taking on the Bulldogs. Marley, what is your play?
I got San Diego State minus the 7.5. Outside of who is it? Colorado State, Boise, probably the third best team, third best team in the conference. Their defense is probably number 1 defense in the conference. This is one of the teams that normally dominate this conference. Last time they played the Fresno State Bulldogs, the score was, I believe it was like a double-digit blowout. Yeah, 61-44, almost a 20-point game. I expect more of the same. San Diego State still got shit to play for because they are not going to win the conference. So every win is still important. Got to look good on the resume. They need another blowout here. So put me on San Diego State minus the 7.5, sir.
All right. Minus the 7.5. Yeah, and I like San Diego State on the first half spread. San Diego State, So you like the minus the 7.5? As a matter of fact, I think I'm gonna join you there. I'm not gonna do first half. No. Let me get that first half. I'm gonna get in, get out real quick on that.
Yeah, now I'm gonna ride Matt Bradley. 17 points a game. I'm gonna ride the guy.
I believe it's 3.5 right now. So yeah, those are our official plays for that game. And I got a last minute pick that I was looking. This is the only game I've really been looking at all day. UCF -2 on the road against Tulane to finish out American Athletic Conference play. I am riding UCF here as a lock play. I do like the way UCF plays. They do have a future lottery pick on that team. Though they have lost the last 4 games on the road, that they're against some of the upper echelon teams of that conference. the Memphises, the Houstons of the world. But this Tulane team, in my opinion, is just not a very good ball club. Get to these actual factuals. Central Florida 4-1 straight up in the last 5 games, 12-3-1 against the spread in the last 16 games against Tulane, 17-2 straight up in the last 19 games against Tulane, 9-0 against the spread in the last 9 games when playing on the road against Tulane, 5-2 straight up in the last 7 games this season, and 4-1 straight up in the last 5 games when playing against American Athletic Conference opponent. Tulane, they are 7-3 though against spread in the last 10 games this season. They are 0-9 though against spread in the last 9 games playing at the crib against Central Florida, as I said before, and 1-11 straight up in the last 12 games in the month of March. So, Marty, do you have a play or a lean for this?
No, I do not, sir.
All right, so I'm going with the analytics on that play. That's my official play. So, go over these plays real quick because I got to get out of here. Marty likes Oakland +4, Cleveland State -6.5 for the first half. Purdue FW money line, and San Diego State -7.5. As for myself, I like Oregon -5, San Diego State first half. It should be 3.5, even if it's at 4. I like that. And then lock of the day, UCF -2. So appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and head out unless you got some NBA plays you want to talk about.
I'm looking at the Grizzlies and I'm looking at the Mavericks. Them are the 2 NBA games that I'm looking at. Kind of like those Grizzlies. Jaylen Brown got hurt for the Celtics, so they man down. So I'm probably going to put on those Grizz. Thinking about making a small wager on Ja Morant for MVP this weekend.
Do it. Go for it. He is the favorite right now. But anywho, I got to get going. My Uber ride's here for my meeting. So I'll holler at boys. Marley, if you want to lead us in a prayer, we can get out of here.
All right, let's do it. That's a bit. Y'all know what it is. Same thing it is every day. I am Marley Bet. That is the coach. This is Brothas N Bets. Make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe, and comment button when y'all can. Appreciate everybody that joined us today. Like every day. Y'all know what it is. Let's beat Vegas. We out this month.
Check it out. Look, we from the bottom, ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay.